Hey guys, welcome back to the Crowdfunding Demystified podcast. My name is Salvador Briggman, and today we're talking about how to gather email leads specifically for a PR outreach campaign. So there are different facets of PR, but today we're focusing on how do you gather email leads easily and efficiently using a tool out there that is available to everyone, and it is free. I'm covering that in today's YouTube video. Okay, let's get started. So I have a lot of great videos out there on PR and those kinds of things, but I really want to hone in on one specific tool today. It's going to help you build up an email list leading up to the launch of a Kickstarter campaign or a product launch in general. So what is that tool? That tool is called Hunter. So Hunter is a tool that's available in the Chrome web store. If you have a Chrome browser, you can go there, you can download Hunter and add this to your Chrome browser. So it's going to look like this little orange icon here of, I think it's like a coyote, kind of a dog, that's going to appear in your Chrome browser there. And it's free. You just got to add that, and then you'll be able to use some of the Chrome functionality. So for example, if we were going to come to a website like Kickstarter here, we could then click this little button for the coyote, we'll call it, or fox, and it's going to pop up. And it's going to show you, it has 113 results for Kickstarter, and also all of these different emails that it's gathering. So like senior performance lead, outreach manager, some of the people, director of publishing. You can go and you can look through all of these different results if you want to, and really dial in on the people that you want to be reaching out to when it comes to media opportunities. Or if this is a publication, you could do that. You can look through all of these. You have to upgrade for, if you don't get one, like more than just a couple, you'd have to upgrade to a premium service. You can export all of these also, if you want to, into a CSV file, which you then prime to have when it comes to sending direct emails to people. So why am I telling you about this? Well, typically, if you have a product, let's just say you've invented a new belt. The first step for PR outreach is to look at the publications and the blogs that are already writing about this topic or that are already covering products similar to yours. So just for example's sake, let's say you've created a new belt and you're doing your research and you come across this new live campaign on Kickstarter, which is Urban Belt by Expand Inc. And this has raised about $200,000. What I would recommend doing is I'd recommend just copying the name of the belt, and you can do a very simple search here on Kickstarter, on Google rather, and you can see what shows up, right? So here's some one's example. Here's a Facebook post. Here's a YouTube post here. First of all, you can segment this by going to images or news. I'd recommend news actually rather. You'd go to news, and you'd be able to see all of the different news publications that are writing about this particular belt. Now, if you don't see or readily identify what it is that you're looking for, we could do urban belts. We can put in the keyword Kickstarter to target this a little bit better, our search. There, we got a couple of ones. We got geeky gadgets. Looks like some of these are not as relevant, so we're going to then further narrow this down. We're going to do in quotes. So we're just going to do urban belts. See if this comes up with anything. The main one here for that search is going to be this this geeky gadgets kind of listing. So I would probably play around with some of the keywords, right? So I might change that from Urban Belt to Expand Inc. and see if any results come up with Expand Inc. The other thing I would recommend doing would just be going here and going to all, and we can say Urban Belt Kickstarter. And then what we can do is we can do a search which is actually based on time. So the way we would do this is we look at tools, and this pops up. We'll then go here and we'll specify. We want to look for results that came about in the last week or the last month, or even a specific range during the launch, like the first 7 days of launch. Who wrote about them? We could very easily do that, or you could say in the past year, and you can sort of filter some of the results that way. The other thing I want to do is I just want to look at belts in general when it comes to Kickstarter. Why would I want to do that? Because chances are it's going to tell me about some other products and some other things. And what's going to end up happening is as you do this, you're going to start to gather all these different tabs, essentially, of different belts and different products that are similar to the ones that you have. And what we're going to do then is we're going to find the email address for these particular publications. So this one I already looked up was on Geeky Gadgets. This is for an urban belt. Once you stumble on this article, you're then going to click this little icon here for the horse or for the fox, and it's going to pop up with the emails that they're able to capture. So let's just say we've done that and we got a couple here. So I already have this preloaded. So we just have a few when it comes to the ones that I've been adding to the queue. So we got this listing here. There are a few things we can do with this. Number one, we could send a campaign. Number one, we could manually add a lead. Number three, we can export this to CSV. So I want to show you what happens if you export this to CSV. You're just going to click export. I'm going to click save. It's going to save. Then you're going to click here. It's going to open up. There you go. You got first name, last name, position, company, industry, email address, country code, website, phone number, if they're able to gather that, and some really great activity, and also the owner who added this to the email list. So this is just a very scraping the surface example of how you can gather a email list or a media list, which you can then start to outreach to people who have written about similar products to the one that you are creating or the one that you have created. Now, there's a lot more to this process when it comes to knowing the emails to send, when it comes to other ways to build up an email database, other ways to make this process a bit more efficient. Kind of goes beyond the scope of this video, but I have a great course for free that goes through step-by-step how to launch a PR campaign for a Kickstarter product. This goes into basically how to get media hits, how to get PR writing about your particular product, how do you get journalists excited to write and publish a story on your product. And I'm going to include a link to that free PR course in the description of this YouTube video. Also, one of the other cool things about this is as you're going out there and as you're building up a list of leads and you're starting to reach out to these people, you're going to get a very crystal clear sense of like what people attach to, what elements of the story. So I go a lot more in depth when it comes to like developing media assets, writing a good story, all that kind of stuff. Go and check out that free PR course in the description of this YouTube video. But I hope at least you now have a sense of like how you could just very simply with this tool start to gather a list of leads for the particular product and start to then reach out to people. And in terms of the amount of time that this is going to take you, it's different for everyone, but I would spend at least 5 hours a week on this. If possible, try to spend a little bit more. Try to spend about 10 hours per week. If you don't want to do this yourself, you can always book a one-on-one coaching call with me, which I will link up down below. We can talk about how I can help you with this process, or if you're looking for help when it comes to reaching out, I can give you some really great tips to get journalists to reply to your emails, which as you'll find is actually the hardest part of the process. So go and book a one-on-one coaching call with me if you got more questions. But I hope that this snappy video was helpful for you. My name is Salvador Briggman, and I will see you next time.